Hi guys. This is annoying. Okay. Um so just some updates from my side since we haven't had any podcasts. Um okay. So let's see. I'm trying this new format. Gonna record updates with the site, what I'm doing in the community, um, anything related to Patreon as well. Um, yeah, so I'm just going to wing it. I've been wanting to record this for a while now, but I've been kind of busy. So just a quick life update. I was laid off from my job at the end of January this year. It wasn't too much of a shock because the company hasn't been doing well, and they've been doing like consistent layoffs every 6 months. So this was nothing new to me, and yeah, so I got laid off at the end of January. They gave us a pretty good severance package. So I'm, financially, I was okay. So that was like looking for a new job wasn't, I wasn't under any pressure to look for something new right away. Yeah, I'm very fortunate that, that I don't live paycheck to paycheck. But yeah, so since January, I've what I've been doing a lot. So I finished subbing several series. Yeah, I worked on Chaser Game W. This was also during we had a blackout here and no electricity at all for 3 or 4 days. So that was a bit tough, but somehow I managed to still release Chaser Game W on time. I've also managed to release Shanai Shokeinin, which is also with Yurika, and it starred in that as well. She's very busy, so having her, having her as an Oshi is like very demanding because she's been in so many dramas and she continues to be. And so that was another one. And I also managed, this one was a surprise to me, it was the VR Ojisan no Hatsukoi. That one, I picked it mainly because it was such a strange title. And then the poster, is of this like middle-aged man who, you know, who's just standing there, and there's an image of these two kind of high school age girls that are almost kissing but they're not, so it was a little bit weird. And even reading the synopsis kind of piqued my interest. At first I was like, oh, this must be like some like perverted some perverted kind of drama, because it's also a yoru drama, which is like it shows like late at night, but then it's produced by NHK, and they're typically not too risque in terms of like what they produce. It was also based off of a manga from what I read. So yeah, so it really piqued my interest, and After watching the first episode, I was like, wow, this is so unique and it's not what you expect, right? So, yeah, it's just about, okay, a little bit of spoilers, right? So if you haven't watched it, you can skip forward. But it's about, this middle-aged man who's never been in love. He's socially very awkward. He doesn't know how to communicate with people in general. So he escapes by going into this VR world. But then in the VR world, he's also he's very much a loner and he only keeps to himself. But then I think he's trying to escape, the monotony of everyday life that he has to face at work. So he's just spending his time in this VR world every day. And somehow this other avatar stumbles upon him. Her name is Honami, and he's Naoki. His avatar is a high school girl, and she's in the full getup. She has the sailor, uniform, and she's like very cutesy. She has pigtails. But then there's this other girl that he meets in this VR world, and she's awkward, and she you can tell she doesn't that she doesn't know how to use, or this is like her first time in the VR world because she walks awkwardly, and like you couldn't even hear her talking because her mic wasn't set up or something. So it's like this very strange girl like drops in on him and starts following him. And then they start becoming friends, and then it develops into something a lot more that changes both of their lives. This was a Yoru drama. It's 32 episodes. Each episode is like 15 minutes long, but I highly recommend it. It's just every episode was very very moving. The visuals, they sweep you away into this kind of like old-timey this different world that's not modern, but in some ways it's modern. But yeah, the music, it's like this very jazzy kind of genre. And it's this whole ambiance. It's like it gives you a very cozy feeling, like something to like on those cold rainy days, and you're like snuggled up against like a fireplace, and you hear like the wood crackling, and you're drinking like hot cocoa, and it has that old timey feel, and it's just very cozy, comforting drama. So I highly recommend that you guys watch it, because I subbed it. But not only that, but it's a very good drama too. What else did I work on? Shanai Shokeinin. This one's a late night drama. Stars Yurika as well. Nakamura Yurika. But this was kind of a revenge drama. But it takes place in the workplace, which is a bit different. So there's some bullying. there's some kind of suicide kind of elements to it. And then you don't know who the mastermind or who's behind everything, right? So that's like the draw of this drama. It's very dark, which is what I think Yurika, what she thrives in. That's like her genre, I think. She kind of pulls that dead face look, very easily, and which is very weird because, like, in real life, because I've met her, she's quite the opposite. She's very like bubbly and kind of like cutesy. But yeah, so it's this is very much her genre. Let's see what else. So I worked on that. What else? Just looking through the list. So we were supposed to watch DTO for the next drama club podcast, but we've been so like behind schedule and just busy. It's so hard to coordinate, like, well, 2 different time zones now. Well, it's always been 2 different time zones, but also I found a new job, so it's a hybrid working model, so I'm in the office like 3 days out of the week, and then Monday and Friday I'm working from home. Oh yeah, so let me go back. I lost track. Let me go back to when I got laid off. So got laid off, started subbing like crazy. I finished quite a bit of things. So I finished, I don't know, 3 or 4 dramas. And I recently just finished Shichinin no Hisho, the special, because the original subber, I don't think she even mentioned anything about working on it, even though she had worked on the first season. So after the first season, there was a special like that aired maybe 3 or 4 years later in 2022, and then after this special, they released a movie. So I just finished this special. It's available for you guys to watch now. I'll start working on the movie soon. I want to get that out soon because, as you guys know, Chaser Game W has a 2nd season. That was just announced like last month. It was kind of shocking because the first season just barely aired earlier this year in January. So now they have a 2nd season that started. They haven't started filming yet. I think they finalized the script, and they're scouting locations right now. So I think they will shoot pretty soon. And the first, I think it's set to air in, was it September? I think it's September. Yeah, I think it's September that season 2 will start. If not, I think it might be November. Anyways, it's coming soon. But then that's because of all of the popularity generated from fans online. Because of this, like, it's kind of like it's not the very first GL or girls love drama that's in Japan, that started in Japan. But it's one of the first ones that stars an idol, and then a young actress, I guess. So I think they underestimated the popularity of it, because it was only 8 episodes. And then people kept demanding more over on social media. So much so that they held a fan event in April, shortly after the season ended. So this was, it was supposed to be only one show, but I think because of demand, they held like 3 different sessions, which is kind of crazy. Was it 3 or 2? I don't even remember. But I applied, and somehow I hit the lotto, and I got the last session. And this was in April. So in April I went to Japan just for this one event. It's a kind of nerve-wracking because I haven't been back to Japan since like Amuro Namie's finally concert, which was in Tokyo, which was what was it, in 2018. So it's been a while since I've been to Japan. So my Japanese is rusty. Just different things were different. Like, okay, now you can do, buy an eSIM versus like renting a little mobile Wi-Fi device. So I used that. What else? Some other things were different, like most places now accept credit cards. They even accept like Apple Pay too. And yeah, so I had no one to really help me that much to get around. So that was a bit like nerve-wracking for me. But yeah, that was a fun event. I also participated in what do they call it? Not nomikai. It's a fan gathering. So they call it off-kai. Off-kai, like the fans. They just meet together somewhere. So I signed up to one. But then it was mostly Japanese people there. There were a few people from China, some from Taiwan, and there's some other foreigners who actually live in Japan who are attending. Yeah, so I met I became friends with one of them. She's a fan of Yuuka, so that's the other actress in Chaser Game W. So she's a fan of that whole idol group. I don't even know the name. Because I don't follow it at all. But it's like AKB. It's not AKB, but it's one of those. Okay. But yeah, I met her, got to hang out with her, and kind of like use my broken Japanese to interact with these Japanese fans of Chaser Game. It was like, I was a bit like fish out of water. I was a little bit uncomfortable because my speaking skills are not great. Like I understand a lot more and I can read more than I can speak. Just because I've always been embarrassed to speak in Japanese, to make mistakes, essentially. But I think this trip kind of like helped me break out of that and stop thinking about, making mistakes and people thinking I'm stupid or whatever. So, yeah, I also met some people at the event. Yeah, so I met some people. Well, I was interacting with some of them over on Twitter, and we were a part of like some thread, and so we were going to meet up. So yeah, I communicated with them via Twitter, and I met some of these people in real life, and it was a very like great experience. Yeah, it's very. There was one point where I met a Yuuka fan. He's like a great artist, and he just draws these like kind of anime style drawings of her. And I had printed out one that he had done of Yuuka and Yurika for one of the magazine covers that they did. So he drew it, and I got it made into a sticker. I asked him beforehand, and then I gave it to him, and he was like so touched by it. And then I kind of freaked out. I didn't know what to say, so I started speaking in English to him, and I think he freaked out too. So he didn't really respond. So I'm like, oh. So yeah. But it was fun. I met some other people, some other fans there too. Yeah. So I also, during that trip, I went, where did I stay? See, because I went back twice. Went in April and then I went in June. The first time around, I think I stayed. Where did I stay? Oh my god. I think I stayed at the Tokyo Station Hotel. No. So I stayed in Shinjuku. I stayed in Shinjuku because I wanted to be close to the Chaser Game W venue. That was crazy. I mean, when I landed, I had to take the express train to Shinjuku, and then Shinjuku station, it's like nuts. That's kind of like split in two, and there's a street in the middle too. So there's like two parts of the station, right? And then so it was like late at night. It was maybe around 7 or 8. I landed around 6. And then so by the time I was in Shinjuku, it was probably 7 or 8 already. And I was tired and I wanted to shower. So I had to lug my luggage through the station and try to find the Shinjuku hotel. But somehow I managed. What I do most of the time when I'm lost is I look I look for station agents. Most of the time they know English, sometimes they don't. And sometimes they're nice and they'll help you, but then since their English is not great either, then they will not. They'll give you the bare minimum, and then you have to like translate that into like what do they actually mean by that. So I think I asked maybe 4 different station agents to help me, because if you exit the wrong exit, it's kind of a nightmare. So somehow I managed, and what's good is to use Google Maps. there's a street view that you can use, which you can kind of like you scan like the surrounding buildings in the app, and it like it finds your location, and then it has like a kind of a first person view of like where you should go, and then it'll map you to where you need to go. So I use that a lot, just to find anything, and I went around quite a bit. So I found my hotel. My hotel was like next to of course, the Shinjuku train station, which is pretty busy. But I have no issues with sleeping, so the sounds doesn't really bother me. Yeah, so I stayed there, and then did I go to Tokyo Rail Station? I forget. But I had to go, so then I met up with I had the event, then that night, or this was the next day. So, had the event, then at night was the fan event with, the off-kai. I didn't want to stay too long because I had to go to Kobe the next day, I think. So then I left there, and then how did I get my Shinkansen ticket? Did I go? I don't remember. I don't know if I went. Oh. Maybe I went. I don't remember. No, I think I stayed there the whole time when I was in Tokyo. I was only there for like 2 or 3 nights. I met with one of my old co-workers from like 2 or 3 jobs ago. And then this happened in April, so my memory is fuzzy. Went there, and then I had to go to Kobe, so I bought a ticket. Oh, I know what happened. Oh, okay, I know now. So I prepaid for the Japan Rail Pass. I don't know if this is really a good deal because they used to have like 5-day pass, but now it's like 7-day pass. So the 7-day pass was, I don't know, like $300-400 or something. But you get to ride the JR train unlimited. You can take Shinkansen unlimited as well. So if you use the Shinkansen at least 2 or 3 times, then it's worth the money. If not, then I feel like it's not worth it. So what I found out is like if you're using the JR pass, they call it, it's kind of, people are kind of agnostic to what type of train they use or what subway they use. So there's like multiple different, companies. So there's JR, and then there's these other ones like a subway line. There's, multiple other ones. I can't name it off the top of my head, but they all use, like, they don't accept the JR pass because that's only for the JR line. So that was a bit annoying because like when I met up with like my friend and one of my coworkers' sister, because she lives there, they would use different they were agnostic to whatever they use, right? They used whatever was the closest to their destination. So they would just hop into a train or like walk to the station that's close by. So sometimes I would have to like purchase a separate ticket, and doing that was like difficult because like you have to like look at where you're at and then where you want to go, then calculate what the price is, and then pay that at this at the machine. And then you get like this little small paper ticket, which is good for like one round or wherever you're going to, right? So that was like kind of annoying. So what I recommend is like just loading up your Apple Pay, your wallet. Your Apple Wallet has the functionality of being able to add a Suica, or there's another type of transit card they have on there, Passmo. So there's those two that you can add when you land in Japan, and just load up that card, and then you can use your phone to like badge into the gates to get through the gates. So that's what I did my second time around, which is what I've learned. So when I landed in Japan, I met with the JR Pass, like a coordinator from there, and you have to pay extra for. So I paid for this service, and so when I landed, someone was there to greet me, and she took me to the JR Pass line. Not the line, JR Pass office to get my ticket. So I got my JR Pass. I met with her, got my pass, and then they speak English too. So I asked her, "Can you help me buy a Shinkansen ticket to Kobe or Osaka?" But I didn't know like where I should go. So what did I do? So she helped me buy a ticket to Osaka, Shinkansen ticket. But then talking to my friend in Kobe, my senpai, she told me, no, you need to stop by Shin Kobe. I didn't know the station went that far. Anyway, she told me to change it. Otherwise, like, I'll be in Osaka, and that's not where I'm supposed to be. Okay, and then so I'm like, okay, shit, I have to somehow get a new ticket for this. So I think she messaged me. I think it was after I landed, and then got this ticket that same night. I landed. I somehow had to change my Osaka ticket to Shinkansen. So then I was also asking the station agents, like, how can I change this? So they told me to go to this the other side of the Shinjuku station. There's an office that they can fix it for you. So then, luckily, I have JR Pass, so it doesn't matter. The price is what it is. I don't need to pay anything extra. But I had to change the ticket. So I went to the office, and then it was such a long line. And I think I probably waited, 20 minutes. And then finally, they don't talk very much, like these agents, right? I don't know why. They're just cranky. I mean, I would be too if I were working late at night on, like, Saturday or Friday or whatever. So then I finally got my new ticket to Kobe, Shin-Kobe. So then the event happens. I meet some friends. I visited several places in Tokyo. I went to TV Asahi. I try to visit NHK, but they have there's no public area where you can just go in and look at stuff. So I walked by the building. What else did I see there? Did I say TV Tokyo? Maybe. And then, yeah. So then I take the Shinkansen. Somehow I woke up early and found my way to Tokyo Station, which is even crazier. And I managed to, I managed to find my, what do they call it? My platform, so I can go to Kobe. Got kind of greedy. I bought like two ekibens, two bentos. One was like a katsu sandwich. The other one was like filled with other random things, like 10,000 things in one. Yeah, so it was a nice experience going on Shinkansen by myself. I sat next to a very nice lady. She was Japanese, but somehow she knew I was like a foreigner. She started talking to me in Japanese. And it was like my chance to practice, because like I didn't know her. So I started speaking in Japanese to her. And then at one point it just started to like just flow out. Like my Japanese was just coming out, like, and I think at that point I'm like, I should really make an effort to speak more, just to convey my thoughts in Japanese, because I've studied for so long. But yeah, then I went to Kobe, and I don't remember what I did at Kobe. Oh, I stayed at the fancy hotel in Kobe. So I met my friend and the nice lady that sat next to me. She was kind of like looking after me, so she was telling me where to go. And then, yeah, she was telling me where to go, and she like followed me out, and I said my goodbyes to her. And she was like, she's so thankful to have met me, and just like it just made her day because I was talking to her. Yeah, and then I met my senpai, but it was like in the middle of the day, so I think I arrived around 11 or 12. So then I checked in my luggage in the lockers at the station, and then we didn't really have anything planned, but she had some flyers of things that if I wanted to do something. So we decided to go to this herb garden. It's like along this mountain. So to get to the top, you have to take this gondola. It's like a skiing gondola, and you go up the mountain, and then at the top there's this kind of very quaint little set of buildings. It's very like Studio Ghibli like. They have flowers everywhere, they have herbs, all sorts of plants, and they sell stuff up there. They sell like essential oils and just kind of local crafts, beer. There's like, yeah, all kinds of different things that they sold up there. But yeah, my hotel at Kobe was like, I dream of that place. It was so nice. But it was along there's a bay there, and the hotel was like right at the end of the bay, so you can see like the entire bay. And they have this this Ferris wheel that lights up at night, and that was like amazing. Oh my god. But the hotel room, I got like a suite because I'm like, why not? Mind you, I was like laid off at this point. But you know, you only live once, right? So I got like a king size bed, and like I had like a little couch and like a crazy like desk, like executive desk, and there was a balcony, and the bathroom, there was a gigantic bathtub, like a circular one. It wasn't like a rectangular one, and it's like humongous. It can fit probably like 2 or 3 people in it. So every night and every day, I would take a bath. There's this button that you press, and then the water just gushes out like a waterfall, and it fills up like almost like within, I don't know, 2 minutes it'll fill up. So I think I took a bath like every night and every morning because I was waking up early. But yeah, since I have a tattoo, it's very hard to go to any onsens or public bath because they don't allow tattoos. My tattoo is pretty big. Yeah, so it was a great hotel. I recommend it. I forget what the name was. Hotel Kobe. Let's see, Kobe Hotel. Not Kendo. It was Hotel La Suite Kobe Harborland. So that little area where the bay is, it's called Harborland. Yeah. So if you ever go, stay there. It's a little bit out of the way, but you can catch a taxi to get there. Because the second time I went to Kobe, I didn't stay there. I wanted to, but my senpai told me to cancel and to stay closer to the train station. But that was not such a good experience. The hotel was tiny and smelly. I don't know. I didn't like that hotel the second time around. But yeah. Okay. So that was. I'll talk about my next the June trip another time because I'm already rambling and it's been 43 minutes. But anyways, yeah, Jacer Game W season 2 is coming up, and Yurika is also in another drama before that, which is airing, I think next week or in 2 weeks. It's airing. So I'll be subbing that one too. There's also some kind of remastering projects that I should work on. I think finally Gokusen 1, 2, and 3 have been released on Hulu JP. I think season 2 and 3 are in HD. Season 1 is so old that only the DVD is released, so the quality, it's only 480p. So I might work on that. I have to also work on Sci-Fi Remaster Blu-ray. So I have that to do. What else? I think that's all I have on my plate. Oh, and Shichinin no Hisho movie. I plan on working on that too. I have the Blu-ray of that purchased. And Yurika's other drama is Kanpeki Wife ni Yoru. Kanpeki Wife ni Yoru Kanpeki na Fukushu Keikaku, I think. Yeah, 完璧 wife による完璧な復讐計画. It essentially translates to the perfect wife. Wait, no. The perfect revenge plot by the perfect wife, or something like that. Oh, one last thing before I go. So since I visited Japan like in April and June, and I want to be, it's frustrating not being able to communicate, so I started taking Japanese lessons. I signed up through a local, it's kind of a school, I guess, but they teach different languages there, and they have a physical campus that you can go in to take classes, or you can do hybrid, or you can do online. And there's different pricings for each one. So I decided to take the online one. So I started that maybe a month ago, and they're using the Genki 1 book right now, but it's towards the end. So I joined, they call it like level 6. So to place me, because they wanted to see where I would end up, they sent me a written test that I had to they tested your grammar, your kanji, like how much you can read. So I filled that out and emailed that back to them. But they also wanted to test my speaking skills. So I had to record like a snippet of myself, just making an introduction in Japanese. I didn't know what the heck to talk about. And I was like so like embarrassed. Anyways, so I recorded that, sent it off to the coordinator, and the teacher grades you. And then she told me I should be in level 7. But then level 7 doesn't exist because there's a class right now that is in level 6. So she recommended I take level 6 and then go into level 7 later, which is coming up in September. Anyways, Genki 1. I've never used Genki before, but it's pretty solid. They explain the grammar very well. That's what I liked about this. First, they go through the vocab, and then there's random kanji just thrown in. So they don't really spend too much time on kanji, I feel like. It's mainly just vocab, just kanji thrown in there. And then they explain the grammar very well. So a typical class is the teacher will go through the grammar and the vocab, and she uses kind of funny art that she finds from. There's a site where I'm sure you've all seen it. There's this site that creates non-copyrighted free for use art, and they're kind of like emoji it's very cartoony. So she uses these, and then she explains the grammar to us, and then the teacher will go around the class to test us. She will show the slide and then say, oh, okay, how would you say this? And she'll give you tips and she'll help you out. So I find that very useful because most people make mistakes, and that's the only way you can learn is you make mistakes, right? So she'll pick on each person every class, during every lesson. And then so there's vocab, there's grammar, And then there's always some section where we partner up with someone, and then we practice the dialogue. So that's fun too, because you kind of help each other. You're teaching each other because they're learning as well. But I can tell most people, like, reading is very hard for them because, they've barely started learning like earlier this year. So they started at the beginning of the Genki 1 book. But I've been reading for a while, so reading is pretty easy for me. And then I know quite a bit of vocab already. But it's always fun just kind of drilling with someone else because you go back and forth, and you're like constantly learning from the other person as well. And then the teacher, she always explains like the nuances for the grammar, which I found like very helpful. Just very slight modifications in like the grammar can change the meaning a lot. And yeah, so I enjoy it quite a bit. I think I've done maybe 5 classes already, and I have maybe 2 or 3 left. But yeah, I think I will continue taking it just to practice speaking Japanese. Anyways, wow, 51 minutes. Okay. So that's my dump of everything that I've been up to. Yeah. So I'm doing okay. Found a new job. I'm getting accustomed to that schedule. But so far so good. Yeah, but I'll continue subbing as always. Just I have to adapt to working, and going into the office now. Yeah, so I'll see you guys another time.